سأقبل يا خالقي من جديد كما أنت من.
My name is Ibrahim Bashir. It's very important that when you're learning, you have a teacher. That's very important that you have a teacher that you read to. Once you have a teacher, with regards to actual hifdh, I would say the most important point is repetition. So you need to be repeating the verses that you're memorizing. So for instance, let's say you want to memorize a page, you will start off repeating the first ayah. Or before that, actually, I would listen to the shaykh, a good shaykh. For example, Husari, Mishawi, and others you can listen to. A number of times. There's not really a set number of times I would put, just until you feel you're comfortable with the verse. Some say 3 up to 10. It is variable. And then once you're comfortable with listening, you recite. You try to recite, and you can record yourself, or you can recite if you're comfortable with the reciting. And if you end up making a mistake in the verse, you would repeat it or listen to it again, and then repeat it until you're comfortable with reciting the verse whilst looking at the mushaf. Once you're comfortable whilst looking at the mushaf, I would do it from memory, okay? And then you would again recite it a number of times until you're comfortable reading it off by heart. And then you follow the same process with the next ayah. And then what I would do is I would combine the previous ayah with the next ayah. So once you're comfortable reciting the previous ayah with the next ayah off by heart, you go on to the next one, and so on and so on, until you finish the page like that. Once you finish the page, I would then repeat the page a certain number of times. Again, it varies until you're comfortable and you're ready to read to the shaykh, like that. I gave the example of a page as just an example, but for each person, they have different levels. So if a person just beginning, we don't expect them to start with pages and pages of memorization. Maybe you could start with half a page, a few lines, a few ayat. And then slowly, as you're in your journey of memorizing, you can increase. I think there was a statement from one of the Salaf that one of the biggest things that could cause your memory or your hifdh of the Qur'an to go away is in sins and the disobedience of Allah. So that's also very important that you stay away from sins. But with regards to revision and being consistent upon revision, I was influenced by the Tikrar program, which is the program they have in Medina to memorize. Which is they divide the revision into new revision and old revision. So let's say I'm just starting with my hifdh, I read one page to the teacher. So that after I read that page to the teacher, that now becomes part of my new revision, which I must read every day. And then if I read another page to the shaykh, then that page also gets added to my new revision. So now I'm reading 2 pages every day, and then the third, the fourth, until it reaches a juz. Once you reach a juz, then that juz now gets transferred to your old revision, okay? And now you have to read your old revision every day, and you're progressing now with your hifdh. So once you read the next page of the next juz, that is not part of your old revision, but it now goes to your new revision because you just read it to your shaykh. And you have to read now that page as part of your new revision every day and your old revision every day. And then you would keep reading your hifdh to your teacher, so another page and another one. That stays in your new revision until you complete another juz, and then that gets transferred to your old revision. And once you now have these 2 ajza, or how many ajza, you can alternate between the ajza you read every day. So you can read, if you're able to read 2 juz a day, that's good. But if you want to do 1 juz one day, then the other juz another day, that's also good. But the more, the better. It's good to ask advice to your teachers. Ask advice from your teachers. Because they will, at the end of the day, know what's best. But I feel like this way of doing it, it will make your hifdh very strong. Although it might be a bit, you have to put in a lot of effort. The fruits of it are, alhamdulillah, you will see your hifdh is very strong, and you're able to recall what juz, what surah and verses in very quickly. Because at the end of the day, the main concept is just repetition. The more repetitions you do, the better it will be for you. Of course, if you're going fully on hifdh, it's quite difficult to find time. It is possible, but it's a lot more difficult, I think, to find time to revise all of that, as well as keeping your old revision and everything still intact. But maybe if you very close to finishing the Qur'an, you just want to have that final push, then I think that's why probably people tend to do that. But I think everyone is doing what they're capable of doing, as long as they're pushing themselves to what they can. I think the brother was able to do it, and alhamdulillah, he achieved his goal. With regards to being in the Qur'an Camp, taking time and sacrificing your week or your holiday, or there's brothers taking time off work. Yani, this is what greater thing could you do to like just being in the presence of the Qur'an, people reading the Qur'an, the Kalam of Allah. And you know, it came in the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. The best of you are those who learn the Qur'an and teach it. So why wouldn't you? That's the question. That's the question you should be asking. Why wouldn't you join the Qur'an camp?